How's it going, YouTube? My name is Andreas, and in this video I'm gonna talk about what I do when I just get bad beat every hand. I can't take it anymore. You know, these opponents with the shit ranges just win all the money. Well, I curse a lot. I hit my punch bag. Or I ask my lucky pick why it's not doing its job. Do you understand it? Jokes aside, while I do some of these things that I just mentioned, it's really important that after you're done complaining that you really start working on your game. And in this video I'm going to basically share with you guys what I do as poker studies, and you can take that as an advice the next time when you just can't take it anymore. As this video is part of the bankroll challenge, $24 to $1,000 in no longer than 30 days, I'm going to show you the results of day number 13. You can see that we won $14 and then $2 in rake back. We're only up about $9.5 in EV, so it's not really satisfying with how that day went. To put those 10,000 hands into perspective, these are the last 93,000 hands that I played during the $24 to $1,000 bankroll challenge in 1 cent, 2 cent mix combined, PLO and no limit hold'em. You can see that a 10,000 hand stretch of not winning has happened a bunch of times, but all in all that we're up about 100 binds, or that's about 10 BB per 100. Obviously, that's not really the win rate that I'm looking for, and to make matters worse, when I started playing 2 cent, 5 cent, I hit one of the worst 10,000 hands that I've ever played in poker. You can see it here, just a quick review. These are 10,000 hands. I lost about 12 binds in EV and ran even some below that. So I didn't really see that coming in such a low limit in poker, but it happened, and here's what I'm gonna do about it. One of the resources that I'm using these days is the Jnandezpoker Mastermind. You can get into this program for the first month for just $29. And the topic of this month is restealing. When the button opens and you're near the small blind, it's very important to punish the button's opening range by restealing aggressively and then playing post-flop in the correct manner. Well, I had a look at my database in a similar fashion to how the videos in the Jnandezpoker Mastermind advocated. You can see that I have 154 situations only on 90k hands. Why is that? Well, on micro stakes, nobody's folding from under the gun, MP and the cutoff position. That's why you almost never end up small blind versus a button steal. But sometimes the games get short-handed, three-handed or four-handed, and that ends up happening more often. And when you get more comfortable in this situation, it's actually very advantageous for you. You can see that I have marked 27 hands down here. Why is that? Because these 27 hands are not a resteal or not in the resteal GTO ranges. How do I know that? Well, there's another recommendation that I have for you guys, and that's the PLO matrix. Here you can see the offers for the PLO matrix for the first, or for 1 month on the micro stakes. You get the GTO ranges and then really visualize. You have to pay $29, and then you can basically get access to the ranges that I'm going to show you guys. So what I did is also I did sort of a drill. I went down in all these tabs and had a look at the resteal hands that I should be going for. When you look at ace king double suited, you can see that you have a lot of hands that are the worst. Ace king double suited that you're still folding, and then when the ace and the king is one suit and the rest, the 9 and the 5, for example, is another suit, you should resteal. You shouldn't resteal here, but all the red ones are resteals. So what I did is I went through, you know, hand categories: ace king double suited, ace queen double suited. Then I skipped ace check and ace 10 double suited hands, went to king queen double suited, and you can see that they get fewer and fewer and fewer. And when it comes down to 9, 8, 7, 6 double suited, it's just this combination that there should be 3-betted. Even double suited, when there's one gap, 9 high, you shouldn't be 3-betting anymore when it comes to small blind versus the button open GTO wise. And then when it comes to 8, 7, 6, 5 double suited, there's only one combo, and then the 7 high rundowns double suited shouldn't be 3-bet anymore. So this is something that you can do with the PLO matrix, and I highly recommend you guys, if you don't know or the preflop ranges well enough, get into this, try to find out all the different situations, and this is just one of them that I've been working with. Also, I want to quickly mention that there's all the aces that you're 3-betting, then there's less kings, less queens, and then also the ace jack through ace 7, 5, 4 double suited that you also want to be 3-betting. Restealing from the small blind against the button when you reach higher limits gets more and more important. Not only does it come up way more frequently when you're playing higher limits, but also it is actually always for a lot of big blinds that you're playing. Whenever you're 3-betting, you're playing big pots and want to make sure you play them correctly. Other situations that spring to my mind are 3-betting from the button versus the under gun position or middle position or the cutoff, and then also squeezing in position from the button versus multiple players or out of position versus an early position open. When you have those 3-bet pots covered, you already figured out a lot how to play big pots pre-flop in pot limit Omaha, and you already reach another level when it comes to this game. Obviously also the rest of the pre-flop tree, open raising the right hands so you don't get punished by good 3-betters is also very important. Now the main takeaway from this video is, sure, you can hear me complain or curse around in the stream when it's not really going my way, but at the end of the day it's really important that you put in the work after your session and that you basically improve as a poker player from day to day. From a strategical standpoint, this video has shown you the resteal ranges when it comes to the most common hands that you have double suited, from ace king, ace queen down to 8, 7, 6, 5 double suited. And you can basically go through them and where the thresholds are when you want to resell from the small blind against the button. Another topic that I want to address in this video is poker investments. I've personally invested thousands of dollars into my poker education, and for you guys I just have the advice that don't expect to make a breakthrough in poker unless you've made at least some investments into your poker education. If you don't have Hold'em Manager 2 yet, there's just so little chance that you're gonna rise up the ladder, because I don't personally know that many players who have made it to a decent level in poker, at least in online poker, who haven't used at least some programs like a Hold'em Manager 2 and then made some database analysis on their play. In live poker it's all still possible because it's much softer, but maybe that's going to change at least in some areas in this world that live poker is going to become somewhat tougher. So I just highly recommend you guys take the greatest resources out there. It's just so little chance that it's not going to pay off for you. If you, for example, invest $29 in the Mastermind, you only have to, win a tiny fraction of a big blind per 100 for the next 2 or 3 years. Think long term, you're going to always make that money back, and you're going to make less mistakes in the months and years to come. Last but not least, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up down here and subscribe to the channel. I hope you had some insight into how I work on my main game, which is pot limit Omaha at this moment. And I hope that it helps you to develop your game as well. Over and out. This has been Andreas. Thanks for watching.